to be careful that we don't think we are the Holy Spirit. Right? Like, Junior Holy Spirit, here I come. So, you know, it's not like I know everything or you know everything, but sometimes we can see something more clearly than them, and there's a way to point that out. Number 5. This is huge. Before we advise our husbands, we need to check for selfish motives. Do we have selfish interests? Are we using our influence to try to manipulate our husbands into doing things our way? Yeah, we've probably all done that once upon a time, or twice upon a time. Romans 12, 9 and 10 says, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. So we have to check our motives. And then the other one that I repeat all the time, I think every week in here, is Philippians 2, 3 and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. So we need to check. What is my real motive here? I don't even like to stop and ask that question because I kind of usually have a bad answer. I mean, you know, but we should do that. We should check and make sure that our motives are good, that it's not about manipulating my husband to do things my way. Let's go to number 6. Check to make sure you aren't giving counsel because you're operating in fear. And we often do this. I don't really trust God, maybe with our finances, and so I'm going to start giving my husband advice to try to make sure that we have more security or something, but it's maybe because I'm not trusting God. Maybe you're not trusting God to take care of your kids, and so you're being really like the helicopter parent, and you're just trying to run interference with everything and rescue them from every consequence, and because you're operating in fear, and so you're giving husband wise counsel about how you should take care of the kids, but it's really a fear-based thing. Often it's selfishness or it's fear that creeps into this picture when we're trying to give counsel or insights to our husbands. But Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is a great verse to memorize. If memorization of verses, I know, can seem kind of daunting sometimes, but Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is one of the very first ones I memorized, and I just like this verse. It's just simple and yet profound. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. That's a great verse to memorize if you want one, because
well, it's easy. It's in a song.
Well, there you go. Okay, it's even better when it's put to music. There you go. Number 7, our husbands are only going to. This is humongous. If you didn't think the motive thing was a big deal, this one I think is even bigger. Our husbands are only going to accept advice from people they trust to have their best interests at heart. Right? Our husbands are only going to accept advice from people they trust to have their best interests at heart. As wives, we need to earn that place of trust. This is huge. We can earn trust by consistently showing them respect. I think Patty talked about that earlier. Showing respect, even if you don't feel respect, being respectful, like in terms of your actions and your behavior, being respectful. Proverbs 13:12 describes an admirable wife this way. She brings him good, not harm. It's pretty cut and dry right there. So if your husband was interviewed today and the interviewer said, does your wife bring you more good than harm or more harm than good? What would he say? I mean, can your husband tell that you are for him? We need to encourage them. We all so desperately need encouragement. And our husbands, for some reason, men have this sort of like stoic thing going on, and I'm very like, I don't need any help and I'm fine. But if you talk to men who will be honest, most men feel like failures, feel like they are disappointing, that they are a disappointment to you, that they're going to get found out, that they're really a loser. I mean, seriously, when they answer things like this anonymously, that's the kind of stuff they write down. That they feel like people are going to find out that they really don't know what they're doing, that they're not really as good as they pretend to be, all this kind of stuff. They so desperately need our encouragement. And 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore encourage one another and build each other up.